What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Power 5 on WagerTalk TV. For Friday, July 28th, I am Bryan Power, and this is a show where every morning we bring you the 5 things you need to know: where the market's moving, who to sell high on, who to buy low on, stat of the day, and at the end, a free play, our power play of the day. But before we get rolling with the Power 5 here for Friday, just want to remind you, please smash that like button. Give this show a thumbs up. Also, please feel free to comment away. Tell me if you like what you're hearing, if you agree with the power play of the day, if you disagree with the power play of the day, if you hate the power play of the day. I'm a big boy. I'm thick-skinned. I can take it. I'll get in the chat, interact with you guys. Let's make this a fun time. Share your own favorite bets for the day. Maybe you see something that I don't hit on. We'd love to hear from you. Of course, we also want to see you subscribe to the WagerTalk YouTube channel. Tons of great content each and every day to get you set. Just great, the best sports betting channel around on YouTube. As a matter of fact, I'll be co-hosting a WagerTalk today at noon Eastern with Steve Merrill. Okay, let's get right into the Power 5 with how the market is moving. Bettors not scared of the Mets, apparently, in the big price. They opened minus 185 at home against the Nationals. That line looks like it's headed towards minus 200. It's already hit there at some shops. The fact that Max Scherzer has given up 4 more runs in 3 of his last 4 starts, apparently that's not a concern to bettors. And maybe it shouldn't be, because the 3 times he did allow 4 more runs all came on the road. What did he do in his lone home start during that stretch? How about 7 shutout innings, a 1-hit ball against the Dodgers? For the season, Scherzer has a 2.36 ERA and .99 whip at Citi Field. He's also never lost in 7 career starts versus the Nats. Mackenzie Gore, who's starting for Washington, not exactly Cy Young. So a predictable betting pattern from the public there on Mets Nationals in an NL East matchup. The total for Twins Royals, as we go to the AL Central, open 9. It's already at 9.5, and it could be headed to 10 because it's a juice 9.5 right now. So bettors like the over here, and maybe that's because the Twins have averaged almost 6 runs per game since the All-Star break. Remember when this team couldn't hit? Well, it's been a different story here in the second half. Maybe it's because Twin starter Sonny Gray has 0 wins since beating the Royals all the way back on April 30th. Interesting to note, the Twins' bullpen has blown 8 saves in his 14 starts since then, so he's not getting a lot of help from the relief corps. Maybe bettors like the over because Royals starter Brady Singer, 2-6 with a 6.15 ERA in his career against the Twins. Or maybe it's just because I talked about the Twins' bullpen earlier. Maybe it's this Royals bullpen, 5.46 ERA, 1.55 whip at home. Regardless, there is lots of reasons to like the over in that particular AL Central matchup on Friday. Who do we sell high on today? Is it Yankees starter Garrett Cole? Hear me out. Cole comes in as a favorite at Baltimore. I get that Cole's having an outstanding season. Great pitcher, obviously. He's got a .76 whip his last 3 starts. But his lone start against Baltimore this year, admittedly back in April, he gives up 5 runs in 5 innings. I don't think anyone believes, looking at these two teams, that the Yankees are better. So even with Cole, not sure New York should be favored here on the road. The 2 things that would keep me off the Orioles, though, okay? Grayson Rodriguez, who's starting for them, 6.91 ERA, 1.64 whip this season. And they're an underdog returning home after a long road trip. That is historically a bad spot to back an underdog. So we shall wait and see how that AL East matchup turns out. Series opener, big one in the AL East. Buy low, should the Reds really be this big of an underdog to the Dodgers? They took 2 of 3 at home from LA last month. Brandon Williamson, who is one of the Reds' maligned starters. Okay, I get it when 60% of your rotation is Williamson, Luke Weaver, and Ben Lively. People aren't going crazy, but Williamson's been getting the job done recently, guys. 1.80 ERA, .87 whip his last 3 starts. Reds plus 1.5 is basically even money here. I was kind of shocked at how big of a favorite the Dodgers are. I know the Dodgers are a great team, easily the second best team in the National League, but might be time to buy low on Cincinnati after they really struggled against Milwaukee here to start the second half. Stat of the day, team that doesn't struggle as a road favorite, Philadelphia Phillies, 13-2 in the range of minus 125 to minus 175 on the road. Let me say that a little clearer. The Philadelphia Phillies, 13-2 this season as a road favorite of -125 to -175. They are in that range tonight at Pittsburgh, who will be starting Mitch Keller. Not only has Keller just been bombed in 2 starts since the All-Star break, we're talking giving up 14 runs in 11 innings, but he's 0-2 with a 7.80 ERA in 3 career starts versus the Phillies, who are going with Wheeler. Wheeler was a very hard luck loser his last time out at Cleveland. The only run scored in that game was on a fielding error. Unfortunately, that went against the Phillies. But it seems set up for Wheeler to get and the Phillies to get the job done against Pittsburgh, a team that's been on a 55-win pace since the start of May. All right, before we get to today's free play, I want to remind you about a special offer that I talked about yesterday. As you know, I recently celebrated my 1-year anniversary here at WagerTalk.com. It's been a great first year. I ranked number 1 in MLB from last year's playoffs through the All-Star break. Was also number 1 in college football with plays rated 4% or higher last season. Well, for my second year here, we've got a great opportunity to get on board. Take 50% off a 1-year all-access pass by using the code POWER1000 for the cost of just $2.73 per day. You will get every winner I release for the next 365 days. Head on over to wt.buzz/BP to take advantage. Now, I do want to acknowledge something. This is very important to me. I've always prided myself on transparency. I tweet when I win. I tweet when I lose. And in full candor, this last week has been very bad for me. I avoided a bad run the entire first half. That is something that's hard to do in this business. You know, an entire half a season of baseball, not have one bad run. This past week has been poor. But know that no one takes losing more seriously than I do. Okay? And I truly believe now is the time to buy low on me, as August is going to be a new month, and then there's football season. Let's get back to killing it. No one's working harder. Bringing you these videos. We'll have a couple plays available later today. Check out my page. Again, we're going to turn this thing around, I assure you. Okay, power play of the day. Let's wrap this thing up for Friday, July 28th. Drum roll, please. It is the Padres. First 5 minus half a run. It's -115 to lay the half a run for the first 5. Now, some are going to be surprised that San Diego is such a large favorite against the Rangers today. The Texas Rangers, obviously, they have the best run differential in all of baseball. But this is all about the starting pitching matchup. Starting pitching sometimes can be overrated. Okay, we talk about that. But here, the matchup is difficult to ignore. You got Joe Musgrove on the bump for the Padres. Okay, what has he done his last 10 starts? How about 7-1 with a 2.07 ERA? And then Texas is going with Dane Dunning, and I've written about this. I've talked about this. He is a prime regression candidate in the second half. He's done a yeoman's effort filling in the spot in the Rangers rotation because of the Jacob deGrom injury. But his numbers have not been good recently. 6.32 ERA, 1.53 whip for Dunning his last 3 starts. He gives up 5 runs his last time out. San Diego is a desperate team right now, guys. Absolutely desperate. The next few days will determine whether or not they can remain viable in the wild card race in the National League. I would lay the half run here, first 5 with San Diego and Musgrove against Texas. That's it for the Power 5 for Friday, July 28th. Now let's all go and cash some tickets and have a great weekend. Comment away.